Hey there, what's up YouTube friends? Cheddar here, back with another video. First off, I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a great day, and I hope everything is going well for you. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. This is going to be a new tier list video. It's been a while since I've made a tier list video, so I wanted to add to that collection. This time I'm making a little different tier list. Instead of a director tier list, this is a Scream movies tier list. It was recently spring break, and over spring break I watched through all the Scream movies when I had time. So as a joke, I was calling it Scream Break, and I had a pretty good Scream Break, if I don't mind saying that. So yeah, I'm going to be making a tier list of all the Scream movies, just so you know. Here, I'll go through my tier list so you have an understanding of my tier list. I know they're pretty obvious, but I think that tier lists can be a little person specific also. So I'm going to go over my tier list. I like to call it tier list house rules. Just so you know about me too, I'm more forgiving about technical flaws. When I see a movie, I care more about my overall experience, how much I like in the movie, and how much would I recommend it. When I'm going through the tier list, I use three basic elements to rate and rank the movie. Basically, likability, how much did I like it; rewatchability, how happy would I be to rewatch it; and recommendability, how likely am I to recommend the movie to you, because I think movies are an investment of our time, and so I like to consider recommendability and if it's worth your time to check out the movie. Just to go over my tier list house rules, at the bottom here we have the F tier, or I like to call it the WTF tier, because you got to be a little clever, and otherwise this is the skip tier. These are the only movies I would call bad movies. Okay, the D tier you can also call the disappointed tier. I put in the side, you can see it's my lacking tier. I don't think these are necessarily bad movies. I just say that they're lacking. I didn't really get what I wanted out of the movie. There's still some good things in there, but for the most part, I don't want to rewatch the movie, and I'm not recommending it, and I didn't like a whole lot of things in it, so it's kind of lacking. C tier, ooh, I just noticed a boo-boo. Hold on, let me correct that. This is perhaps my weirdest tier. This is the okay tier. These movies, for the most part, they're good. They're fine movies. You may even rank them as good or great movies. I think they're fine. For the most part, I just don't think, I don't recommend them very much, and I'm not super excited to rewatch them again. So I think these movies are good movies that I'm just not going to recommend you go out of your way to watch, or me. And then that is opposed to B tier, which is the good movies. B tier and C tier aren't too far apart. They're basically high mid and low mid tiers, but they're both mid tier. But B tier is the good tier. These are movies that I think are good, but I would recommend that you check out, and I'm happy to rewatch. A tier is for the great movies. These are movies that I think are really worth your time, and yeah, they're great. S tier are movies that are, obviously, as you can see, they're special. This doesn't necessarily translate to special to everyone. This mostly means special to me, and what I think is the specialist kind of movie experience you can get as I watch through and consider movies. So I do consider objective facts and everything when I'm going through my review, but for the most part, my tier list is very personal. And I'm more concerned with telling you how much I like the movies and what I got out of it, and showing it in a tier list form is pretty fun too. So as I go through the tier list, I'll go through it my least favorite to most favorite. I will let you guess where the placements are going to be. There might be some tricky placements, and I'll let you figure that out. It's possible not every tier will be used. We might be skipping through some tiers, so keep your eyes open for that. But this is just sort of a game. Let's have fun with this. If you think my tier list is stupid, be sure to let me know with a very, very unhappy comment. And also like and subscribe too. That lets me know that you hated my tier list. So be sure to do that. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Anyway, we can have fun with this now. Let's dive right in. Get your scuba gear going. We're going to dive into the tier list. What is my least favorite tier, or least favorite Scream movie? Not my least favorite tier. My least favorite tier would be the WTF tier. So is there any Scream movies in the WTF tier? I got some bad news for you, my peeps. I'm kidding. I'm sorry, don't get mad at me. No, good news. I don't have a single movie, a Scream movie, in the WTF tier. I don't think any of them are a skip. I think all of them are out of the skip tier. So Scream fans, horror movie fans, rejoice. No Scream movies in F tier. Instead, we're going to skip straight to D tier. I have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 Scream movies in this tier, and you're just going to have to guess how many, but let's go through. We have a quick second to guess here what my least favorite Scream movie is, and your second is over. My least favorite Scream movie is Scream 4. Scream 4, I think it's almost okay. It was almost okay, right? But for the most part, I didn't really get what I wanted in a Scream movie for this. Also, I should have said spoilers for all the Scream movies. I'm not going to go out of my way to talk about everything that happens in the movie or talk about the plot in detail, but to rank the movies, I'm going to just mention spoiler material. So just be warned that there's going to be some spoilers in these discussions. But Scream 4, basically, I thought was the least scary. I also thought was the least funny. It felt the most by the numbers. It felt like it was the most Scream movie that was doing the same thing without offering anything sort of new, and anything that was new that was super interesting. If I'm remembering right, the beginning was a little fun, but the bulk of the movie was just kind of meh. Okay, a big part of the Scream movies for me is the whodunit mystery. It's pretty much in every Scream movie where you're trying to figure out who Ghostface is. This one is my least favorite of the whodunit mysteries. I pretty much called it when I saw it. I mean, I didn't predict Jill right away, but as soon as I saw Rory Culkin and his film club friend, I suspected that they were the murderers. As the movie went a little bit on, I thought there was a third Ghostface with them, and I thought it was Jill. I was only wrong that the other film student was in on it, but Rory Culkin and Jill were the Ghostface killers. So I just predicted that one the easiest, and it was just the least fun to kind of guess with, and it just felt the most by the numbers, and it was the least funny. Basically, out of all the Scream movies, I got the least out of this one, okay? But it's also not a bad movie. That's why it's not in F tier. It was still fun, right? There were still some fun moments. Out of all the Scream movies, I don't really want to watch this one again. I got what I wanted to or needed to. Not what I wanted. I got what I did out of this movie, and I'm pretty done with it. The ending to Scream 4 was also just the most silly. It was kind of bizarre with how silly it was, and I don't think it should have played out exactly how it did. It was just really goofy and not to the movie's benefit, where the Scream movies have been goofy and it's pretty fun while still being tense. So yeah, Scream 4 just lacking for me. Like, not a bad movie, but I don't really want to watch it again. Anyway, that solves that. Do you think there's another movie in D tier? Good news is no. There's not another Scream movie in D tier. There is only, we're moving straight to C tier. I just had to look through to make sure that I'm not messing up anything, and that is right. Now we're going into C tier. What is my next least favorite Scream movie? We're already in okay movies, so they're kind of fine. My next least favorite movie, you had a chance to guess, Scream 3. Scream 3 is my next least favorite. This one's okay. It's kind of the most... It's pretty funny. It's pretty goofy. the whodunit's fun, even though I predicted this one also as soon as I saw Roman Bridgers and the director. Not as soon as I saw it, it was like his second or third scene. I thought it was going to be him, but my reasoning for that was not the most. It was based on because it seemed like he had the least amount of reason to be the killer, basically. He had the most at stake to be the killer. So I thought that that was the biggest red herring, and I know I had the least amount of evidence for to suspect Roman Bridgers, but in a way that made him the most suspicious because it just seemed like in a way the mechanics of the movie was okay. We're trying to eliminate him as soon as possible, and anyway, that's just how I sort of played with the movie. And even though that was still happening, I didn't know that he was going to be Sydney's brother, and that was interesting. And he had kind of a touching but weird death at the end that it was also goofy, but it still kind of worked for me, especially how he like grabbed. They held hands as Roman was dying, and it was just sort of weird. It also just felt like even though his mom abandoned him, he didn't have to try to kill Sydney and the people around her and everything. It just felt like he could have just said, "Oh, hey, sis, I'm mad about mom, but do you hate me?" And then he didn't even give her a fair chance. So uh, that bugged me, a little bit. But well, again, this is not a bad movie. This one's fun too. This one had some of the violence toned down for it, which gives it sort of a disadvantage. That is, the violence being toned down is in relation to the Columbine incident happening, I think, just the year before. I'm pretty sure that was 1999, and this movie came out in 2000. So the violence was toned down and was supplemented with more comedy. And this one was kind of funny, but even still in the movie, this one I had fun watching. It was a fun watch. It was just one of the least scariest and least threatening Scream movies, and also the whodunit was fun. It actually had me guessing in this one of who was it. For a moment, I thought it was the police officer, because I did doubt my suspicion of Roman Bridgers as the movie kept going on, because the suspicion of other characters kept raising. I thought it was the police officer. I thought it was one of the actresses, or in the movie, and in the stab movie that was happening. And so it was. It had a fun whodunit, even though I kind of predicted some of it to an extent. So I like Scream 3. I think it's fine. I just don't think you need to super go out of your way to watch this one. It doesn't get a strong thumbs up. It's light pass. It's okay, right? It's okay. The next Scream movie that is on my list, you've had a moment to guess. I think. Do you know what it is? Do you know? Do you know? I'm going with Scream 2. Scream 2, I think, is also okay. I think, yeah, just it's something about these Scream sequels that I think is okay. I wanted to put Scream 2 in B tier because there's some things that I do like in the movie, but I really didn't get a whole lot out of this movie too. I did have fun with it. Was it Randy? He was fun, and it's sad when he dies in this movie. It just felt like it wasn't anything that made the first one as good as it did, right? The Scream 2 is okay, it's fine. The Whodunit's a little fun in the movie too, because at one part as a joke, I said it would be funny if it was that lady that basically, I always forget that name. It is Billy Loomis's mom, but I really didn't expect the killer to be Mickey. That one, kind of surprised me. I thought for sure it was going to be Derek, because Derek just seemed related to Cotton. And anyway, Cotton was a fun red herring too. So it was, yeah, Scream 2 was a little fun. It was okay, but at the same time, I just don't think it's that great. And it's passable. Okay, that's bottom line. Is it's passable. You don't need to go watch the see the movie. The killers, also a big part of the Scream movies for me of what makes them go higher on my list is when the killers are kind of revealed. How threatening are they? And Billy Loomis's mom, while she seemed, or Billy Loomis's mom, yeah, Billy Loomis's mom, Mrs. Loomis. Mrs. Loomis seemed threatening and, smart, but she just didn't also seem like Ghostface to me in that way. She didn't really fit the bill as like a Ghostface serial stabber. And I mean, I guess she was, doing what she needed to do, showing the same kind of cutthroat mentality that in psychopathy and psychopathy, psychopathic behavior that her son does too. But at the same time, she just seemed very sane, and she even acknowledges that in the movie. She says, "Oh, I'm very sane," and she seems like it. And it just, uh, the more sane, just kind of reduced the threat of her in a way, and it made sense that she could get away with the plot, right? But uh, at the same time, once she takes the mask off, she was way less scary. She was much more scary with the Scream mask on. Okay, is what I'm going to say. And as I talk about some of the ones above, we're going to go into, we might get the opposite of that. We might get people threatening with the Scream mask off. Okay, so now you have a moment to guess. Are we out of C tier? Do I think there's anything more in C tier? And the funny part is, no, we're moving out of C tier. I'm moving out of C tier. These Scream movies are moving out of C tier. We have Scream 1, Scream 5, and Scream 6. And so you can tell by this list that I like the new Scream movies kind of more than the older Scream movies, even though there's a gap between some of them. 1, 2, 3 came out kind of close to each other. 4 came out 11 years later, and then 11 years after 4, you had 5 come out, and then 6 came out 1 or 2 years after Scream 5, and then Scream 7's in the works, so we'll see where that goes. But anyway, you can tell I'm a fan, roughly, of the new Scream movies. Which one do you think is, and also the first one too, of course, which of these 3 do you think is my least favorite? And obviously that they're still good. So my least favorite good Scream movie. We are going to go with Scream 6. Okay, Scream 6 is my least favorite of these. This one is pretty fun. And some of the deaths in here are kind of sad, and it's what I like in the new the new Scream movies, the new Ghostface stuff. The new Ghostface, he seems more threatening than 2 and 3 is the gist of it, and also more in 4 too, because I love when Ghostface pulls up the shotgun in here. I love how the Ghostface in these movies just seems a lot more cutthroat and a lot more vicious in that way, and so I like the viciousness of the modern Scream movies. And I'm sure part of it's just that it has to do with what can be done nowadays, right? I never watched the old Scream movies as they came out. The first Scream a long time ago, but I haven't really kept up with the Scream movies. So I just went through them, over that Scream break. And anyway, Scream 6 I was surprised how much I liked it. It's pretty fun. It has some fun red herrings in it too. I didn't the only one that I predicted that I thought for sure was a killer was Ethan, but I really didn't suspect that it was the cop guy, and I didn't suspect the Quinn too, the one of the friends that dies. So yeah, it had a fun red herring. Those characters though, when they take their masks off and it gets to the end, the movie becomes less of a horror movie and more of an action movie, but it was still really exciting. It was less, intense, because it felt like Tara and Sam were going to be fine, and it was more like I was watching almost like a Die Hard action movie, but with as female leads fighting these killers, and it was cool. I like the action movie feel. I like when killers or evil forces in movies turn into sort of a boss fight, and that definitely happened in Scream 6, and it was fun. I liked Scream 6. So now we're down to, I'm trying to think if that's all I wanted to say about Scream 6. I think that it was good. think it could have been the screams would have made me like it more, right? What would have made me like it more is if the scream maybe a little bit more kills in it in a way, because it felt like there was lacking on some of the kills. I can't remember it was this Asian girl, and I can't remember her name, but she had a really sad death where she got like stabbed in the stomach and then falls off a ladder. It was just kind of brutal, even though nothing like crazy happened to her. It was just really raw, and I spent a lot of the movie waiting for some more kill offs. It doesn't help that one of the kill offs was a red herring too when Quinn is killed. So basically, just some more kills. But because I liked what I was seeing, I just wanted more of it. And then by the time we kind of got to the more part, it turned into an action movie, and it was fun. I wanted the killers to be more threatening, I guess, with their mask off. And we get that in the next two movies. This is a good transition time for me to go to the final two Scream movies. Here we go. Grand finals, right? Are we still in B tier? Are we moving to A? What's my next favorite Scream movie? I'm going to tell you first that we're still in B tier. We're not getting out of B tier yet. We are sticking in B tier, and my next favorite movie is Scream 5. Scream 5 I like a lot. It's a B plus for me, almost an A minus. This one might even grow on me. I might be wrong on this one, and it might be an A because it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I liked this one. It has some kill-offs in the movie that are a little crazy. I might move this one up to A. I'm kind of mad because I just, for now, I'm going to keep it in B plus, but just note that my tier lists are subject to change. Movies kind of grow on me or grow out of favor too. Usually it more happens where something stays the same and other ones grow on me. So I might move Scream 5 up to A, but I liked Scream 5 quite a bit. It was, the ghost face in here was threatening. I had fun guessing of who the murderer was, and then once the ghost face is revealed, I actually knew one of them already. I knew one of them was Jack Quaid, and even though that was still happening, it was still sort of a fun mystery to the movie because I didn't know who the other one was. And another one of my favorite movies from 2024 was Anora, and it was fun to see Mikey Madison in here, and it was even more fun that she was one of the Ghostface killers. And man, she was crazy with her mask off. She just seemed so manipulative because she could so quickly go from pleading with despair, like, please, no, it wasn't me, it was the Richie, he did it, he convinced me, he forced me, please save me. And you just really quickly, she was able to, I mean, she's an actor, professional actor as her profession, so she was just able to, that character, Amber, was very manipulative. It was just really psychotic. The Scream killers in 5 just seemed psychotic. It doesn't help that I kind of have a bias towards anything Jack Quaid's into. He just seems like I tend to like things that he's in. But I liked Scream 5 quite a bit. So those two, Scream 5 and 6, I would recommend for people to go check out. And, Scream 2, 3, and 4, I don't think really need to be seen. And, of course, the one I would tell people to go out of their way to watch is we're moving out of B tier. We're moving to A tier. I've got Scream 1 in A tier. For me, I totally understand if this is an S tier for someone, because in ways this seems so horror villain defining, and in part for that reason I want to put it in S because it started the whole Ghostface trend, who is just iconic. But at the same time, it's just not. It doesn't help that what scares me more, or what I find most interesting, is supernatural or cosmic or existential horror, basically horror that can't be explained. I tend to frown upon slashers for the most part because I just have this view that any character can be scary with a knife or a dangerous bladed object in their hand. So if you had a dangerous weapon, you would look like a ghost-faced killer person. You could be scary. It just seems like any person could pick up a knife and be scary. And so what I find generally more interesting is occult or cosmic or supernatural horror. So weird chat horror, weird shit horror. Okay, so anyway, for Scream to make it as high as it does is really saying something, because I think that it's a really cool movie. I think it's a fun, like, kind of a teen raunchy comedy, but also with like a really serial killer defining movie. Even watching this movie, the kills feel more iconic than in any of the other movies. From Tatum's death with the garage door to oh gosh, I can't remember the cameraman's name, but the cameraman who's put on top of the truck. It's especially the first kill too with Drew Barrymore. Gosh, I can't remember her name either. I'm just spacing on the character's name. It's like her name's like I should know it. How embarrassing. But anyway, the kills are more iconic in this. I can see the kills. Steve, the boyfriend in the beginning of this one where he's just gutted. It's like, oh, dude, is one of the most brutal kills in the whole entire, it might even be the most brutal kill in the whole entire franchise. And it's the very, very, very first kill. So it's Scream 1's awesome. And then on top of that, why I love this one, why you go from Scream 5 at B+, Scream 6 with a B, and then I'm jumping to A. Scream is probably an A+ for me, so it's not S tier, but A+, especially because of Billy Loomis and Stu Macher, I think his name is, Stu. Those two are just insane to watch. They are iconic, super iconic, I think, movie villains. They are even more scary with the Scream mask off. I mean, it's scary enough when you have the Scream, Ghostface running around and you don't know who's next or where Ghostface is at, and everything's changing, especially once the house party starts about 2/3 of the way into the movie. What I was going to say is that Stu and Billy seem more threatening with the mask off. They seem genuinely insane, and not insane in the movie kind of way, but they just got the right actors for the role here, because Matthew Lillard as Stu is just is something else to watch. And Billy, man, when you watch him through the movie, he's got these murderous, like, staring eyes. It's the way that he looks at Sidney even throughout the whole movie, and he's just so intensely cruel and evil, especially how he plots out this whole thing, and Stu's just doing it to be cool. He even says it's for peer pressure and that he's sensitive, and then he starts crying when his mom and dad are going to find out. It was just it's something else. Those two are something else for movie villains. So they're forever going to stand out to me, and I'm happy to rewatch Scream 1. It's got brutal kills. It's got a fun mystery, especially if people don't know who Ghostface is yet. If you met someone who doesn't know anything about Ghostface or Scream, you can show them this one, and I think it'll hold up. I really think it'll hold up, and I think that the other ones to go with are 5 and 6. Most people, especially of new generation, might even like 5 and 6 more, just because it's more modern looking. You get a sharper, camera quality. But Scream 1, those villains are the best. Those are the best. Billy and Stu are S tier horror movie villains for me. If I'm just going off of a villain scale, I think I like them more than Chucky. I haven't watched all the Friday the 13th movies. I should maybe go through those, or the Halloween ones, and do a Halloween tier list too. Michael Myers, at least in Halloween 1, I like a lot. I think he's pretty threatening. I think he's up there too. So anyway, this concludes my Scream tier list. So thank you very much for listening this far. I appreciate it. Let me know if you have any thoughts. I accept positive and negative thoughts. I invite any feedback below. So just leave that in the comment section. If you had fun with the video, like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. But no worries if not. Thank you again for your time. I hope you have a great day. Thank you again. Cheddar out. Goodbye.
I'm catching a ride, you know it's alright. Hitching a ride, we're gonna take flight. I miss the boat, too tired.